We are gonna introduce Jørgen to the chat. How you doing, Jørgen?
Hey.
Hey, how are you guys? I'm doing fine, thank you.
So, Jørgen, we're gonna start this podcast off with a bang, with the federation always already representing it. So I love that. We're not gonna have a long chat, but we're gonna have a solid one. And let's just start up with it's a lot of changes this year in this season.
Well, yeah, there's changes in our season. There's some changes at our office. Or maybe the line is a little bad here, or am I?
The audio is good, just the video is a little bit slow.
Okay.
Yeah, my video is bad too.
I just wanted to know if you heard me, guys. No, we have some changes in the series. Obviously, the Oslo Vikings, after a very positive invite, was chosen or has chosen to play in the Swedish Super Series. So that's exciting. That's new. We have a new team coming up with the Lillestrøm Starfighters taking the real plunge to the Elite Series. So yeah, I think it's really exciting.
Yeah, you mentioned a little bit movement in your household in the federation. You hired 2 new guys this year, and both of them has like very different job description, but same time they're like working to grow the football.
Yeah, well, it's we set out kind of mid-year last year, and there was a push from a lot of different areas about trying to build flag football in Norway. It's been a goal of ours for a long time. It just has never been the right time to do it, and it's always been a question on how should you do it, how should you try to do it with the little resources you have, or should you try to do it real when you first are going for it. So we decided to make a real plunge and asked our federation for internal funding for a project position, so that we could do it for real with a person that has it as a job, a full-time job, because trying to do a big project on a part-time situation is we just learned that doesn't work. So that was our plan throughout the fall, and we wanted to set forth to get our new project manager in the door. Along the lines of that, we've had a project going where we had some funding. It's called Ungdomsløftet, which is geared towards equipment packages for tackle for new teams forming a junior team. Mm-hmm. The project's been going on for a couple of years, and we've seen that these clubs are forming young teams, and they're getting some kids out there, and they may have a young coach or two, and we had our mentors, which was part-time guys running around helping them out, but there wasn't the real connection always with the club, and what we see with smaller teams or smaller clubs is that they don't just need kids in there, they don't just need coaches, they don't just need the equipment, they actually need a lot of things in the organization, and we saw that, and we wanted to push for more focus on club development within these clubs. And then towards the end of the year, we also saw that this is basically also something that a lot of clubs need, also our existing clubs. So we put the money that was left from the project. We got an extension from the Sparebankstiftelsen, and we had hardly kind of spent any of the money that was set off for salary, and that that made us able to make another hire at the end of the year as a project manager for the Ungdomsløftet and also a project manager for club development going into 2024. So we're very happy to have two new guys at the office. Jarell Hooker is our new project manager for flag football, and Travis Cornwell, who some of you may know from a former head coach and board member in the soccer school just a few years back. So he's in the door, and it makes my day really exciting. Also busy because it's more people involved. But that's super positive. We're happy to have those guys on board.
Yeah, you say it makes you more busy, but at the same time, I imagine this takes a lot off your shoulders and making it more better to like have two guys that can really focus on those tasks and let you be more of a leader position and like you were meant to be instead of taking hold of all the small details around.
Yeah, well, I mean, anyone, no one can do things alone. That it's as simple as that. And we have at the office we have scarce resources. It used to be myself and Marie Solhaug for many years, and none of us had full-time positions. When she left to go into alpine skiing and project management up there at Kvitfjell, it opened up the position for Tommy Toralfsson that came in and has, within a year became our mainstay, our rock in the middle that keeps everything in check, that has control over everything that does with the series, all the administrative stuff. He's kind of our commissioner, and together with me, we blend and we work together on getting things done. And it's been a good year, me and Tommy together, and then towards the end of the year trying to build up for these two new positions. As you say, it takes something off my shoulders. I'd rather like to say it gives me the opportunity for a lot of those things that I see is needed to be done that was very hard to get done all by yourself. So having more people is like all the things that is out there as a need can now be delegated to more people. And that's pretty much the best part of having new and really good people indoor. Tommy came in March last year, and then Jarell and Travis just this January.
Yeah.
So really excited.
Yeah, I love it, and I'm me and Sigurd, us both, we are big supporters of flag football. It's my national team jersey hanging right over my shoulder. So I take big pride in being a national team player in flag football, and I just love that finally it's something is happening in Norway. I'm super excited to see how this can evolve in the years to come, and I'm like, hey, flag football is like perfect for us. Means not Sigurd, he's still playing American football, but for me, like, who still maybe got that itch, but you don't want to dress up and risk those shoulders and stuff like that. So I'm almost just starting to work out just to play flag.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, Martin, you should definitely be proud of the jersey behind you on the wall. That was a fun time, and we tried to do that. And that could be maybe a little bit about kind of like just to give you the history of the situation here. We formed a national team some years back, but we couldn't get the sport going.
Yeah.
And when you try to get something going and you really don't have resources set off to do it, it's more wishful thinking. This time around, it was, well, the organization, NIF, NFL, IFAF, everybody's pushing for flag, and we got to do it in Norway as well. And they came to me and they said, Jørgen, it's up to you. And I said, well, do you want me to do it on top of everything else? Or let's do it right. And that's kind of what we got was the ability to do this right and find a position for a person that comes in. We have the funding now for the year, and one of the things that we were looking for with the flag football project manager was a seasoned leader that could kick down some doors, but also had some experience in gaining funds and doing that kind of work as a project manager, where you find the money for years to come to run what you want. And that's one of the things that Gerald brings into us. He has a lot of that experience. He's done that before here in Norway, even though he's only lived here 7 or 8 years now with his family. He's worked in several projects where he's gained a lot of money for large idrettsklubs, flere idrettslag here in Oslo. So that's one of the experiences that he's bringing to the table, and we're very excited to see what he can do. And we're trying to partner with the NFL flag. We're trying to partner with everybody, and NFL flag is gonna be there, but it's gonna take a little time because they're a big organization and things are not moving really, really fast. But Jarell has already set his sight. I mean, he wants a Norwegian team in the Olympics in 2028, and
Hey, that's
I'm
awesome.
not gonna stop him. If that's his goal, I'm not gonna stop him. Let's go.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
You need a head coach.
Talk about that. Let's talk about that later. For now, you media guys, you guys can help us out. We've talked about it a little bit, but you guys can help us out, making sure that the product comes out looking good and maybe hits the social media that we're planning to do. So you guys haven't seen the last of me when it comes to working with you guys on the flag football side.
That's awesome.
We definitely.
We're definitely up for that.
Yeah, we definitely want to challenge all the teams that already have some football, some football program to try out flag. Try to buy. I think your federation has like flag kits to lend to teams, right?
Yeah, well, we have some for teams. All the Norwegian teams would get kits so they can use it for recruiting and to go to schools and stuff like that. So that is about to be launched. Our new flag football website is planning to be launched on February 2nd. So
that's close.
That's going to be really shortly coming up here. And since you mentioned yourself and challenging others in flag, one of our, it's not completely in decided yet, but one of our big plans for the national tackle football final that comes up in June this year is that we're going to have a flag football festival on the same weekend in Oslo.
Oh, yeah.
And
That's
on the Sunday after the NM final, it's going to be for kids and youth, and all the kids and youth are going to exhibition at halftime and stuff like that at the national final tackle football. But on the Friday, guys, we're going to have an old boys tournament.
Hey.
On the Friday of the national championship
this
year, we're going to have an old boys tournament. And I challenge everybody to do that.
That's why he mentioned you, Martin.
Yeah, all. He didn't mean old boys. He means just dads. There's a difference.
Yeah.
Well, let's just rephrase. I'm challenging all ballers.
Yeah,
Ballers.
There you go.
Using the correct term, as always.
Yep.
I got one last thing I want to bring up to you, and that's the series. The schedule for 2024 is coming up. It's getting released the 1st of February. And you're going into a meeting on Wednesday night, right? To find out all the details and making it before it makes it official. Can you tell us a little bit about the process?
We're really close. It's looking very good. To be honest with you, we have a square number of teams in the Elite Series. There's 4 teams there, and then there's 4 teams in the U17 series, and it gives us a chance to do a pretty nice setup for all teams. Also, one of the good things this year is that Easter is quite early in the year, so we're also going to be able to have the national final prior to school being out, because one of the ideas we had when we saw the Easter being early was we wanted to make a festival with the NM. So when we have the championship final for the Elite Series, we're going to have the championship final for the U17 on the same day as a double header.
Yeah, I love
That's
that.
going to be really, really excited to get the kids out in the limelight there. But also with that, we are able to give some of the teams joint bye weeks when we have those terrible weekends of holidays in May there, where all the kids go with their parents and do that. So we're staying off some of those weekends. The teams get 2 or 3 games and then a bye, and then maybe 3 or 4 games in the middle and then a bye before they do the playoffs. So it's a pretty nice setup. I think everybody's going to like it. Not all teams are super happy about every detail that comes out, but we had an awesome meeting with all the teams about what they wanted to do. And one of the things that came out that was exciting as well was that many of the teams were willing to do double headers with their under 17s, both at home, but also traveling with the men's team and the U17 team on the same bus to go to away games. So we're trying desperately, and we have managed to not have any team play on the same day at different sites with their senior team and the junior team. That's one of the most important things. So we don't get that.
Well, I love that for sure.
That's really nice. That's really nice.
So we're pretty excited. I don't want to promise too much because it's at this moment, as this being recorded, it's not official yet. But I think it's going to be good for everybody with a series that is kind of condensed, but it's also has room for some bye weeks in there, and there's quite a few days where the teams play both their U17 team and their senior team on the same day, which I think is a good test of seeing whether that's positive on a organizational standpoint. I mean, I know all the clubs have lacking volunteers and things like that. And if you have one day when you rig the field and you rig the kiosk and you rig the sound system and everything and try to put up a game, I think it could be good to have 2 teams play on the same day. It may be hard on some coaches that we know are senior players and they're also coaching their junior teams. But I think it's better to be on the same field at home rather than having to leave your senior game and be somewhere else to coach the juniors. So we're looking into a lot of those things too that could be positive this spring. So we're hoping that the clubs will be testing that out, and hopefully that's something we can try to continue to do. But everything is always, not everybody's going to be happy with every detail, but we try our real best to not stretch the teams out in different directions at least.
Yeah, I think that's a great move because several reasons. Personal reasons are 2 games in 1 weekend, perfect for streaming, both of them. Like, I don't need to move too much. So that's my personal reason. But the other reasons are, when I was a kid playing youth football, I loved when our game was at the same day as a senior game later on, because I love that feeling of, being in the presence of the veterans, like, and after, like, they were watching our game before and we were watching their game after, like, and then we could talk about it was just so much more football in focus, and instead of playing the game and going home, you play the game and then you watch the big dogs do it. You know what I mean? Like the players that can really play.
I think that even from a recruiting perspective, or at least a fan perspective locally, if you're a youth player,
Bring
all
some
you
friends.
want is for your friends and and the girlfriends or the girls that you want to be girlfriends with. You want them to come to watch your game. And if you could sit with them in the stands afterwards and show them a real game when the men's are playing, that's going to be more exciting, because then they saw your game and they understood, a little of it, and then you can be with them and watch the next game and then explain it to them, and it's even faster and harder hitting. So that could be a way of elevating the fan atmosphere and everything. So I'm hoping that teams really try to take advantage of those football days.
Yeah, and filling up the home arenas is a bigger chance for having more audience, and also a bigger reason for audience to come. It's 2 games in 1 shot, and I hope the teams reap the benefit of this.
We'll have to see. I mean, every year is a little different. We've done some things last year about our competition rules. We've simplified some things. We made it, way more open. We changed a little bit on the dates. So this is the latest we've been out with a series schedule ever. 1st of February is it's quite late, but it also gives us more planning time and gives us the chance to have the teams go into their Christmas break. As a volunteer, you want, by the time December hits, you want to take a break, and then take that break and then come back. And we had meetings with the teams around mid-January when they are getting back into the office and arranging things for their upcoming season. And they were all able to tell us at that state in January what the status of the teams were, how many kids they had, how many players they had for the men's team. So it was a lot better as far as that kind of connection with the club on how things are and what the status are for the teams going into the season. So from the federation standpoint, we're really excited about the 4 teams that we have in the Elite Series. We would have liked to have more teams, but the 4 teams that we have look really solid. As far as they may not necessarily be at the same football level, all of the players, but they all teams look solid as far as staying with the season, having some depth, getting us exciting games, close games. So
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Me too. We kept you here already for 20 minutes, and that's about the time we agreed on. So we wish you good luck for the season, and good luck tomorrow getting all the details out. And we're excited to see the full release on February 1st.
Yeah. Thank you, you guys. Thank you for having me. We're also excited to tell everybody about the dates and so that people can start planning and things like that. So yeah,
That's awesome.
we're excited. It's going to be a good
Sigurd
year.
needs to tell his boss when his vacation is.
Yeah. Yes, that's been my main issue so far, Jørgen. For sure.
Yeah.
But
well,
hey, I have a last question before you leave here. I don't know if you're allowed to give out any specific information, but I have a question that, if you can, it would be cool to hear. Do you guys have any updates or plans on where you're going to keep the championship game this year?
I can tell you that the championship game is going to be at Jordal in Oslo.
Oh, that is awesome news.
Yeah, they were supposed to have it last year, but the infill of the field wasn't ready at the time, so we decided to not play the men's championship final there. But since they had their refurbished field come back last year, it was only natural for us to take back that national arena that it is.
Yeah.
So we decided really, really early to tell the Vålerenga Trolls and the Jordal that they were going to partner with us for the national final this upcoming year, summer. So that's where it's happening, and that means that we're going to try to do our flag football festival in and around the Jordal area as well on the national championship weekend.
Yeah, well, that's awesome news, man. I can't wait personally to get out in that field. I haven't been on that field in years. And as we saw in the Norwegian national team game, that field looks awesome to play in, and the stands are really nice looking right now. So I'm excited. That's cool news.
All right. Yeah, that should be good. It's always better to play football in the springtime when the sun is nice and the sun is out there and the warm weather is good. So yeah, it'll be a blast. I'm looking forward to see you out there, Sigurd. Stay healthy, stay working. It's always good to have the ballers on the field.
Always, brother.
All right.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, Jørgen.
All right. Thank you,
Have
guys.
a good night.
See you, man.
All right, that's a lot of good information there.